Manchester United versus Tottenham, a game that normally entertains, and this was no different. Ten Hag on the hot seat, Ainge on the hot seat. Who would impress? Both teams were sitting 10th and 11th respectively, and so the pressure was on. We're going to go through the lineups first. Obviously, you know the result. Tottenham running out as 3-0 winners. Man United with a less than desirable performance. We're going to go into the teams. Again, no major differences than you would expect. Key news from a Man United perspective: Ugarte starting in midfield with Bruno and Fernandes. We'll go into that midfield. Back four and goalkeeper would be as you suspect. Rashford and Garnacho on the wings with Xerxes up top. From a Tottenham perspective, same, their traditional back five. Kulusevski in midfield, as he has been recently, performing very, very well. Solanke, Johnson and Werner up top. So we're going to go into the setting of the game. As we mentioned, both managers were on the hot seat. Ten Hag, after the draw against 20, which was less than desirable, pressure was on, to say the least. Also looking at Ainge again, he's kind of performed well after the loss to Arsenal. However, the pressure's still on in terms of continuing those performances. But in terms of the two teams and their positions, sitting 10th and 11th, as we've mentioned already, pressure. And so who was in a worse position was the question that was asked continuously. Are Tottenham in a worse position? Are Man United in a worse position? Clearly, Man United are in a much worse position. I think we discussed this previously. Under Ten Hag, there seems to be no clear direction in terms of style of play, in terms of what you're going to get from them week in, week out. The attitude, the commitment to the cause and commitment to the plan seems to be lacking from the players. The plan seems to be flawed, and the players seem to kind of know that anyway, that they're playing a system or playing a style that in this day and age and the way the league is, they know that it's not going to get them results in a lot of games. And so you're looking through the game, coming into it, United didn't even have time to settle, but they were shown that they were out of their depths in terms of commitment, in terms of heart, in terms of work rate. When Mickey van der Ven picks the ball up from defence, drives through the heart of the Man United midfield and defence, no one stops him, completely drives from defence, through their midfield, through their defence. For me, to point fingers, but just to understand what should have been done there, Mazraoui needs to come inside and close that space. He's not enough to stop him, but he needs to add. De Ligt, again, can't deal with that. Physicality wise, from an athletic standpoint, Mickey van der Ven just absolutely washes De Ligt away. And he did there, and he did to the entire Manchester United midfield. Whipped in a brilliant ball for Brennan Johnson to have a tap in on the 3rd minute. And what a way to start a game. You come out after the game against FT20 and you're expecting a lot from a Man United team, and they did not give anything of the sort. From that goal going in, it was a competitive game to a degree, as you can see from the momentum here for the first half before the key incident, which we'll talk about. United were in the game to a degree, not really impressive at all, lackluster. Tottenham had their number, were outplaying them. It should have been multiple goals for Tottenham, if I'm not being kind of rude. It should have been multiple goals for them. They should have had many, many more. And that's the problem with Tottenham as well. Yes, they won. Yes, they dominated a poor Man United team, but they're not clinical enough. There's so many chances that they should have put away, where Man United should have, been absolutely, put to the sword before they even were. And so coming into the end of the half, again, have an incident where Man United haven't been performing. Bruno, I said during the game, I didn't even know he was playing. If I'm being honest with you, I did not know he was playing. And when I did notice he was playing, he got into a position of getting sent off. A tackle from him, slightly, I'd say a little bit reckless, but nowhere near a red card. And even as someone who's not a Man United fan, you don't have to be a Man United fan to have eyes and see that that's not a red card. It's a tackle, at most a yellow, if that, but no way a red. And that just is the standard of refereeing in the Premier League. It's not good enough. Bruno shouldn't have been sent off for that. As poor as Man United were playing, that's not the answer. So no, that's not a red card. I think if anyone who was saying that as a red card didn't catch the element and the tackle in its entirety, they need to. And for me, VAR needs to be called up and say, referee, I don't think that's a red card. Go check the monitor. That's what we need VAR to step in for. And it didn't. It just went along with a incorrect decision. So going into the second half again, it looked like game over for Man United. You were expecting a little bit of heart, maybe some determination, show that you've got the hunger to, win the game. And they didn't. It was lackluster. I said something that was quite funny. You conceded in the first 3 minutes of a Premier League game. At half time, I'm expecting that the hunger, determination, desire is there. not for you to concede another goal within 3 minutes. A brilliant worked goal. Kulusevski with the finish, an absolutely lovely finish. I have to admit, and I said it before, I have no bias when it comes to football. Tottenham play some of the best football in the Premier League, hands down. Their problem is in between the two boxes. And it showed in this game. Even if they won, they followed up this goal with controlling the game, having more shots, having more domination, but still giving Man United some chances for a team that didn't even look like they wanted to be in the game. We'll go into the Man United team a little bit more, and I'm kind of apathetic to the way they're playing now. I mean, how are you as an owner or a team or individuals just like, okay, this is what we're going to continuously do? It's been a year plus, and yes, they've had the FA Cup win, but the writing's on the wall. Surely we all know the writing's on the wall. But as mentioned, Dominic Solanke got his goal, a little bit of a tap in, but again, great work from Tottenham to create the goal. And it's just a consistent kind of theme. Very easy, very close to goal for Tottenham to score. And the work was done prior to this goal. I think they were beaten down and broken down from a Man United perspective. And that was the end of the game, essentially. A lot of players came on and off. Key people I want to cover from this game: Mickey van der Ven, world-class contribution from him for the goal, world-class run, world-class assist. What can you say about the boy? He's a really good player. I think he's a better athlete than he is a defender, and that's not a knock on him. He's an absolutely amazing athlete and a really good defender. Going to continue to establish himself. Kulusevski, loved this performance. Solanke continuing to grow into his own. He's got so much support in terms of creativity around him. Brennan Johnson found his goal. He did what he needed to do and was a constant threat against the Man United team that just wasn't very good. I'm going to start off with Xerxes, actually. Xerxes, for me, poor. You don't want to be a bagsman striker. You don't want to get loads of goals, fine. But you've got to do your job. You've got to create a lot. And he just felt poor. He was off on a couple of times. There didn't seem to be that synergy that you would expect between the Man United players. Rashford, pretty much non-existent. Garnacho, same. Ingarte, I mean, £65 million for a player that's not going to improve you. No disrespect, but he doesn't control the midfield. He doesn't dominate the midfield. He's very good at, breaking up play. But when you can't get the ball, he's just running around like a headless chicken. No offense to him at all, but that's exactly what he was doing. Mainu as well, good performance to a degree, but yeah, not to the level of what we were seeing at the end of last season from him. The back four, not impressive. De Ligt, I think I've really got a problem with him. Like, as a defender, he seems okay level, but his physicality, his athleticism, I think is just to a degree slower, and that could have been through the injuries that he's experienced previously, but just something seems off. And so from a Man United perspective, for me, honestly, I don't think this Erik ten Hag experiment is going to continue to work. They've got 2 more away games upcoming, away to Porto, away to Aston Villa, that is going to make or break this manager. If this game hasn't made or broken him already. He has the Bruno red card to hang his hat on. Bruno, who was non-existent before that red card anyway. Not sure how much you can actually get out of that. And also looking at it from Big Ange's standpoint, his team play really well, and it's just about making sure that they're clinical and making sure that they can stop goals going into the back of the net. Easier said than done, but they play some beautiful football. They can cause a lot of teams problems, and teams can cause them problems as well. So yeah, they're going to need to continue to do what they do. I think Spurs will be who they are. I don't think there's really much more they can do apart from just finishing their chances. Replacing someone like Werner, who, I mean, how many clear-cut chances do you want to miss? I don't know how many he missed, but it was a lot. I want to click and check out how many he missed. He had 2 total shots, 1 chance created, big chances missed 2. Yeah, I mean, more is expected from Timo Werner. Looking at the players who came off the bench, no one really to shout out. Pape Sarr with the assist. Samir was pretty decent when he came on as well, but yeah, Man United need to get better, and they need to get better fast, or this season could get very ugly. They're in the bottom half of the table, and yeah, we're going to need to see a lot more from them if they want to challenge with a lot of teams who are looking competitive. Chelsea, Tottenham, Newcastle. There's a lot of competition out there, and they're going to need to raise their game up, or it's going to be another season of them looking up the table rather than performing and being a part of the mix. Guys, hopefully you've enjoyed it. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe and comment, and I'll catch you soon. Peace.